I raised 75 million over 2 years. The basis of raising money for real estate deals, there's a couple ways you can do it. We'll have two investors, right? We'll use two examples. We'll have Bob here, who's more old school, traditional, and then we'll have Gabe, because Gabe's using the new way too. So Bob and Gabe. Gabe is new school. Bob is old school. The old school way to raise money for deals is meeting people in person, shaking their hands, going to lots of events, giving them your business card. And while that works to a certain extent, it's not really scalable. So Bob, this is an actual real person who I know did this for a really long time. And that's how he built his list of investors of a few thousand people, was going to events, meeting people in person, giving them their business card, say, hey, send me an email. So when my next deal comes out, I can then send you the information, and then I'll call you, right? It's a very time intensive process. And again, it's not too scalable. Now, Gabe, right, actual Gabe and figurative Gabe, how that person's raising money is they're building a giant social media platform through video content. That way, the investors come to Gabe automatically, right? The more you can get yourself known, and the more attention you can bring to yourself, and the more noise you can make in the marketplace, online, social media, and in business, the more people that are going to know you. So while Bob can have 1, 2, 3 deals over a few years and raise money successfully, yeah, Gabe will be able to do it a lot faster as long as he's growing that social media platform. So the power of social media, like a YouTube channel or a really good Instagram account, right? People get to spend time with you and see you constantly every single day, bringing value. And the more that you can do that for someone looking to invest with you, the more that they can trust you. So the second you pick up the phone with them, they feel like they've already known you for a year after watching your content and can trust what you're doing. So I'd say, number one, that is the biggest advantage over traditionally raising money, meeting people in person, shaking their hands, is creating content. Now, I can see most of the people on the call are actually older. And the beautiful thing about being an older person on social media is there's this like unique proposition you bring of, like, think of like a touch of men, touch of gray, right? The hair dye where you have just a little bit of gray. It has that like unique, intriguing factor. Like, hey, this guy probably has experience. He's older, but he's not too old. I don't know. That was maybe a weird analogy, but older people on social media bring a lot of credibility, because there's a lot of young people on social media that frankly have no idea what they're talking about. So if you can just build up the confidence and start making a piece of content here or there about real estate, about finance, about investing, that's how you're going to attract investors to come into your funnel. So that's the first thing I like to say, is how to get people in. And then eventually, once those people know you, let's say you've built up a YouTube channel with 10,000 subscribers, and you have people sending you messages on Instagram, hey, I want more information about what you do. Then it goes into sales, right? So you have to understand the sales process of how to turn those warm leads into actual investors. And that just goes into, I'd say, sales knowledge, which I don't really want to get into, but Gabe touched on this before. If you have a deal and you have a potential investor, you have to be completely sold on that asset class you're selling. So if you are looking into B-class properties, value-add properties, you have to know everything about the property you're pitching to your investors, why B class is better than A class, why B class is better than mobile home parks, why B class is better than the stock market. So you have to be very confident on the investment that you're pitching to your investors. So 2 parts, right? Get your audience really warm and get people to know who you are through social media, and then eventually funnel them down into where they're actually contacting you. You're making contact with those warm leads. And then you just have to be very confident in what you're pitching to them. And at the end of the day, the number one thing I think you need in order to raise money successfully is trust. If you can gain an investor's trust or a random person's trust, either through past experiences you had or just the sharpness that you have on the investment that you're pitching and the confidence that you have, you'll raise money. So if you can put those 2 things together, create content, create social media. And I know it might be daunting if you've never done it. You just got to try and start, and eventually you'll get good. It might take a few years, but nothing great it comes quick, right? You got to put in the work and you got to practice. So get your audience really hot, funnel them into your your social media funnel, and then pitch them your deal with confidence. And that's
Yeah.
my 2 cents on raising some money.